Aloha everyone, I am Kumupaakawika Foster. In this video, we're talking about LomiLomi training. The three primary questions I ask everyone that comes to me for a private session, and the power of intentions. So let's get into it. Have an assessment with them, so having a dialogue with them. And what I do is I ask them how their physical body is doing. I literally ask them, how is your physical body? And is there anything that I need to be aware of? Right? If there's any pain, or if they have very little movement in any part of their body. So I ask them how their body is doing, right? And I let them share with me as much as they want to about their physical body. So, how their shoulders, back, muscles, legs, everything, that they're inspired to. And I ask them specifically about their body first because I like to move up through the layers of their being. And then I like to ask them about their mind, right? So how their mind is doing, their mental health, their thoughts, their thinking, and this helps me get an understanding of where they're at in their lives, right? So what's happening for them personally, what kind of emotional state they're in. And same thing, I let them share with me as much as they want to in regards to their mental realm, their mental capacity, and what's going on in their lives. Then I take them into their spirit. So then I ask them how their spirit is doing. And sometimes this, sometimes it's very easy for them to share about where their spirit is and how their spirit is doing, what the health of their spirit is. And it really depends on how aware they are of their spirit and the kinds of things that they're doing spiritually in their lives. And sometimes I've had people that that question is very odd for them because they've never thought about it before, right? So, but either way, what happens is that they begin to start thinking about their overall state of well-being, right? So by asking them about their spirit, then they begin to think about the entirety of their being. And then, of course, there's a whole bunch that they can share with me in regards to the state of health of their spirit. And many a times what they will share is more about how they're feeling. Also, they'll share more about what's happening in their lives, and sometimes they'll share about what it is that they would like, what they're working towards, right? So what they would like to see in their futures. And once again, this is all good, and I use that information to really build a deeper understanding of who I'm about to touch, right? Who I'm about to do LomiLomi with. And I take them all the way to their spirit so that they begin to also understand that LomiLomi isn't just about the physical enjoyment, right, or the physical touch. That LomiLomi can, and many times it does, um, work on a mental and spiritual level. So by asking them how they're doing on each of the levels of their being, then it not only does it create a closer relationship and an understanding between us, but it also begins to get them to begin to think about and to understand that the work of LomiLomi is something much deeper than just a massage. Now, the other thing that I'll do, so once that's done, and I've asked them how their body is doing, how their mind is doing, how their spirit is doing, then before before I put them onto the table, I'll ask them if there's any kind of intention that they have for their LomiLomi. And this is a really nice thing to ask and to set forth, because this really now takes them into the understanding that LomiLomi is much more than massage, right? So now we can work with intentions and inspirations. So sometimes what they'll share is that their intention for the LomiLomi is to have a better sense of peace, or to bring their spirit and their body into harmony, right? So you start getting into these other ways, these other words, right? Peace, harmony, love. Sometimes the intention is that they want to experience more connection, right? So whatever their intention is, I ask them if they have one, and I ask them to share it with me so that I can include that into the prayer. And this really is going into, like, they walk through the door, they're hi, I'm John, I'm here for my 2 o'clock appointment of LomiLomi.
Yeah.
Good, nice to meet you. Do you want some water? Blah, blah, blah. And then I begin to ask them about, okay, how they're doing